Welcome back to the Nacho Kids podcast.
That's right.
All right, David, I'm going to let you decide what we talk about today. I know this never happens. I'm always the one in control, all that happy stuff,
Hmm.
but it's your turn.
My turn.
Yes.
Hmm. Let's start with a public service announcement.
Okay.
Let's talk about kind of the slogan slash motto that a lot of folks use.
Mantra.
Mantra. Yeah, it could be that. So a lot of people get it wrong. And the correct way is to say Nacho Kids, Nacho Responsibility.
Now, I have to say, in the beginning, we said Nacho Kids, Nacho Problem.
Yeah, way back.
But
We learned. Yeah. So it is very important to understand the distinction between that. It's not just a change in a word. When you realize that it could be your problem, even though it's not necessarily your problem that you can resolve, it could still be your problem. And most likely it is your problem, either directly or indirectly. It's a problem, but it's not your responsibility. And also not looking at the circumstances and particularly the kids as a problem is very important.
mm-hmm.
Looking at them as not your responsibility also means I can love them as much as I want or not.
Mm-hmm.
I can interact with them as much as I want or not. I can treat them like a friend's kids. I can do all that because it's just not my responsibility.
Right.
It's not that they're a problem. And if you think they're a problem, there's a high likelihood the problem really stems from the fact they're not being parented properly.
Which a lot of step parents know.
Yeah. Actually, this kind of leads into something else. And nobody knows where this conversation will take us. So just follow along, folks.
Well, can you remember where you were and let me interrupt a second?
Go ahead.
Okay. So originally we did say Nacho Kids, Nacho Problem,
Mhm.
which is cool. It sounds great, right?
Yeah, we wish.
Yeah. But it very well could be your problem as far as if it's the home that you and your partner pay for and the stepkids are destroying it, putting holes in the walls.
That's the
Like,
problem. Yeah, my kids did it.
yep. And that could be a big issue because that can be your problem. If you go to sell the house, it's going to affect it financially. You don't want to live in a house that's got holes in the walls, blah, 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 right?
I've just learned how to patch walls really well.
Yes. But it's not your responsibility, meaning you can't control this child any more than you can control your partner. But it is your partner's responsibility to take care of their children. That's why it's not your responsibility because they have a parent, and that is the parental responsibility of that child. Now, you can be a caretaker, but that still does not make the kids your responsibility outside of normal caretaking activities,
Right.
right?
Yeah. And where step parents get into trouble, and particularly the stepmom usually, is they come in and they take that over. They take on that responsibility.
Yeah, the responsibility of getting them ready for school, taking them to school, scheduling appointments, making sure they do homework, making them eat dinner, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's more of the quote, quote, mom role,
Yep.
right?
Yep. And then we often see that a few months in, even sometimes even a couple of years in, the stepmom now resents that.
Mm-hmm.
So you ready to deviate now?
Yes.
Can we diverge?
Yes.
Or branch off. That's the new AI term, branching.
All right, let's branch.
Okay, so we're gonna branch the conversation.
Remind me of the Long Branch. Remember the bar in Rock Hill?
No, that's not good.
They used to call it the extended limb.
So I saw somebody post the other day that the more, and I'm paraphrasing, but it was basically like the more I nacho, the more I'm implementing all this wonderful stuff, the more I'm realizing that it's my significant other that's really the issue. And now I'm looking at them very differently and not in a good way.
And we talk about this a lot in the academy.
Right. But it is very common. So if you feel that way, very, very common. It can be addressed, should be addressed. Don't let it go because it won't go away. You can shove it down for a little bit, but it'll come back. You could look at your significant other, you're frustrated. You may even look at them and say, I don't know that I'm even in love with them anymore. Or
because they're weak.
Yeah, they're weak and I don't find it attractive or appealing or sexy or whatever words you want to use. And now all of a sudden it's like, whoa.
But then also you've got the fact of a lot of step parents personalize this. So it's, well, he's not standing up for me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I agree with that. But it does change not just the way you look at that person, but it also changes the relationship. Because if you don't feel good about the person, if they are frustrating you and you don't find it appealing and all that, it's going to affect everything else.
And it's easy once you start looking at the negative of something, it's easy to continue to look at the negative. You won't find the positive when you're looking for the negative.
Right.
You won't find the positive when all you're telling yourself is the negative. I'm sure David can make a list of things that are negative about me. None of them are true.
You have a list.
But just his perception,
My perception.
Your perception. And I could do the same for him. But I also, if you're going to take the time to do that, you need to make a list of what's good about that person.
I tried.
And you have to remember, did you marry this person because you thought they were a good parent? Now, with that being said, I know when we started dating and I found out that you had your kids 11 out of 14 days. I'm like, well, he's got to be a good dad, right? And when we got married and stuff, well, let me back up. So when we were dating and we would go somewhere with the kids, they were extremely well behaved for 4 boys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it wasn't like you had to stay on them. They were just well behaved. So that was impressive, right? But that's not why I married you.
Why did you marry me, darling?
It was the Harley. It was the Harley. And the do-rag.
Okay. I can understand that got you here. Just not sure what keeps you here.
I'm not sure either. So, but with that being said, although with me having a child, it was important that David be a good parental figure. But I didn't marry him because he was a good parent, right? I married him for a slew of other reasons. Now, I will say, if I would have went out with David and we took the kids somewhere and he was screaming and cussing at his kids and whatever, yeah, I wouldn't have stayed around because that's not what I wanted my child to be around.
All right.
But I never wanted you to parent him, just a good role model, right? And so you look at it that way and you're like, I didn't marry you because of that, but I'm willing to divorce you because of that. Or I'm willing to leave you or end our relationship because of how I think you should parent your kids and you're not.
I think the difference in that is that when we're dating, you have the ability to walk away from it. And I don't mean like in the relationship.
Or
I mean,
run.
Yeah. I don't mean in the relationship. What I mean is at 6 o'clock, if you decide you want to go home, then you go home.
Yeah. If the kids are aggravating you, you just leave.
Right. It's, it's kind of like being a grandparent. When if the kid starts getting whiny and aggravating, you're like, hey, come pick your kid up.
After they drink this monster drink.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's that. And then when you either move in together or get married or whatever, now all of a sudden that option's not there, at least not in the same way. So it's like, okay, I can't get away from this anymore. So what are my options now?
Right.
And it puts you in a position where it's like, well, I don't see any end in sight. This is terrible. I'm just going to leave. I'm going to end the relationship or whatever. So there's a big change that happens.
Right. And then Next thing you know, you're in another relationship.
And guess what?
It's in a blend.
Rinse and repeat.
And you never fix the issues.
Right.
And let's think back to when I was dating David and I thought he was a great parent.
Wait a minute.
Shh.
You say that like past tense, thought I was a
Yeah,
great parent.
because that's what happened. Is after we got married and I was here all the time, and I guess it's because those responsibilities were overtaken by me or given to me, however you want to look at it.
Mhm.
And so it's like, wait a minute, he's not as good of a parent as I thought he was. Not that you were a bad parent, but you just weren't Johnny on the spot. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because I saw things your kids did that you didn't because they're your kids and you were used to it, right?
Yeah. And you're also now exposed to them more.
Right.
When you're seeing them, one evening a week or every so often, whatever it is, you're not, it's like when you're around anybody for an extended length of time, you start seeing things
Mhm.
that you didn't see before.
Right. And it's not that your parenting changed, my perception changed.
Yep.
And my perception changed because I was around them more,
Mhm.
because I was raised with different, I don't want to say standards, that's not the right word, but I was raised in a very strict home
Mhm.
with girls. You had boys that thought the house was a gymnasium. And you love that,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you never discouraged jumping on the couch.
Nope.
So I come in, I'm like, "You're not jumping on my couch."
How dare you?
Right. Like, "What's wrong with you?" And then you look at David and you're like, "Why do you let your kids jump on the couch?"
No, why do you not?
Right. But that doesn't mean he was a bad parent.
No. I mean, that's like even with the grandson. He comes over,
Oh,
he gets on
goodness.
the bed. What does he do? He jumps, plops down, whatever the case might be. Like that stuff's made for that.
Well, you know what's interesting? I don't stop him. In fact, I encourage it.
Yeah, ain't that interesting?
Yeah. Well, that's because he likes to be wrapped up like a baby burrito.
It is funny. I noticed the other day
Uh-oh.
that you and I had him out and about together. And something happened. I don't remember what it was, but I remember
Was it him the singing "I Don't Love You, Lolo"
no,
song?
no, it was something else. But he did something, and we both called him down for it, and it wasn't major. But I just remember feeling at that moment, this is what it would have been like if we would have had our own kid, because we were on the same page.
Mhm. No guilty parent
No
syndrome.
guilty parent syndrome. We both have this same love for this kid. There's no other baggage around it.
Mhm.
It was interesting.
There's no X
No,
around the kid.
no.
Yeah.
That's really kind of what I wanted to cover today. And I know we went down different rabbit holes,
Surprise.
but I think all those areas need to be talked about. And it all, one thing kind of leads to another. If you if you followed our rabbit trails, you'll notice that one thing cascades to another thing, which cascades to another thing,
Mhm.
which is to say, the best time to finally draw the line in the sand and stop things from cascading is now.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you'll look back a year from now and say, I wish I'd have started then.
Right. And if you do feel like you don't love your partner like you used to, but okay, let's go down this road a second.
Okay.
Relationships change.
Oh, yeah.
They evolve.
People change.
Right.
Which I love it when people go, I'm the same person. No, you are not the same person you were 10 years ago. I hope you're not. If you are, terrible for you. Like you haven't improved any.
Right. But relationships evolve. They're no longer this butterflies, blinders of things that are orange flags or whatever, right? It's in your face truth.
Right.
We see young kids that once the spark's gone, you know, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Well, why aren't you happy? Because all of a sudden David's no longer sending me flowers. So David sending me flowers is a basis of what makes me happy? No. You have to make that happiness on the inside, because God forbid something happens to David and he was the only thing that made me happy. Where's Lori going to be?
Yeah. Well, not just with kids. I know you mentioned kids, but I mean, I see this in adults too. They're constantly chasing that new, fresh butterfly feeling that you just typically get from, the early days of a new
Like a
relationship.
drug addict chasing their first high.
You're absolutely you're chasing that dopamine hit. And
Mhm,
look, there's no doubt about it. There's fun and excitement in the new thing. There
mhm,
always is. But for me, there's also a lot of fun, excitement, and stability in what's been there for a while.
mhm. And it's that let's see, those butterfly feelings are replaced with that stable feeling.
Mhm.
But if you never allow a relationship to get to that point, you can't appreciate it.
No.
And don't compare your relationships to other people's on Facebook or social media.
Yeah.
Don't. Or soap operas. When I was growing up, if
Did
I would have
no.
thought that what?
You compared yours to soap
Oh,
operas?
no, I'm saying if
Okay.
I would have. You watch this stuff, and as kids especially, you don't understand the difference between TV and life. But thankfully, my parents' relationship was nothing like the soap operas. So
People
I
s
knew that wasn't life, right?
people still don't discern the
Yeah.
difference.
But if you watch stuff like that, then it is gonna be woe is me.
Mhm.
I could watch something and go, "Well, David never brings me flowers." Well, I told David a long time ago, "Don't waste your money on flowers, they die."
Yep. And thus she never gets them.
That's right, I buy them for
Well,
myself.
that's not true. I do every so often. Usually I get you a plant.
Right, which is better.
Yeah.
But, again, it's all about what we look for.
Mhm.
We can look for the good or we can look for the bad, and that choice is yours.
Yeah. With anything when you're comparing, always compare either yourself or your relationship, compare it to what you were and what your relationship was yesterday. Are you improving? It doesn't matter that my best friend's relationship is better or worse. None of that matters. No matter of fact, it's my version of what I see them presenting.
Mhm.
And there's been many a times when you see somebody's relationship, oh, I wish my relationship was like theirs. But if you talk to them, they're like, dude, my relationship is so busted. We just put on a good front in public.
Mhm.
So just look at, am I a better person than I was yesterday? Just 1% better.
Right.
Is my relationship just 1% better? We're not talking about massive strides.
Now, if you just got in a fight with your partner, don't do this today. Maybe compare it to last month or, when you're in a better mood.
Yeah.
But one thing else I wanna say, or one other thing I wanna say is, you and I both looked at a situation where somebody has to have, events. They can't just hang out. They've got to always be doing something, right?
Mhm.
And we're like, "That's draining.
Mhm.
It's costly, it's draining, blah, blah, blah." But yet somebody else shared their perspective with us about it, about how they admire this person does all this stuff with their family.
Mhm.
And that gave us a different perspective of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, good point. Good point. Because this person is looking like, I wish my husband would want to do stuff as a family. And we're looking at like, oh my gosh, just calm down. Everything doesn't have to be an event or you know,
Yeah. I mean, that just goes to show the difference in relationships, period.
or is it because we're old?
No, because I mean, we have friends that do a lot of traveling to events and things like that. Like they're always part of some kind of club of some sort, and they're going places and hanging out. I don't want to do that, but I think they really enjoy it.
Yeah, they do.
And so for you, if it was something I wanted to do, I would come to you and I'd say that. I'd say, I wouldn't mind doing this. I think for you, oftentimes you're like, I don't really want to do it, but if it's important to you, I'll try it.
Mhm.
And sometimes you come back and say, I really appreciate you, making me do this
Not that
because
you
it was
made
fun.
me, but yeah.
Well, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. And then other times it's like, well, that ended the way I thought it would.
Well, and that's the thing is I shouldn't go into it with preconceived notions. If you go to a party thinking you're gonna have a PC time, you ain't gonna have a good time, right?
Most of the time,
Most of the
yes.
time,
Yeah.
yes.
Mhm.
But you're an extrovert, and that's something else. You're an extrovert and I'm an introvert. So you like the social butterfly thing. And I'm like, no, don't make me go, please. I do go to these things because of you. Sometimes I have fun. Sometimes I don't. It's okay. It's not terrible, right?
Mhm.
But just because you're an extrovert and I'm an introvert doesn't mean that I hold you back.
Right.
If you wanna go to something and I don't, have at it. But you knew that when you married me. So if all of a sudden it's a problem of, well, Lori's not an extrovert.
Mhm.
Well, that's something you knew.
Yep. It's not a problem.
It causes balance, I think.
It is. And, a lot of stuff that we go to is business related. So I don't even see some of this as fun. I see it more as necessary.
I see it as dreadful.
I don't see it as dreadful. I wouldn't go if I thought it was dreadful. But anyway, now,
Oh,
now when you and I go other places that's for fun, I think we typically always have fun.
yeah.
And the fun part about a relationship is learning those things. Like what do we enjoy together? Because there's some things that you enjoy that I don't. And it's
Mhm,
not that I probably shouldn't say I don't enjoy it. I just don't care one way or the other. Like I'll do it and I'll have fun doing it or whatever, but I don't care to do it.
mhm.
And then same with me. There's things that I'd like to do that you don't care to do or don't want to do.
Like the Marvel movies?
Yeah, I mean, it could be any number of things. We're both okay doing those things by ourselves if we need to, if we want to.
Mhm.
We don't always have to participate as a couple. And then there's other things like escape rooms that you and I love.
Yeah, till you start fussing at me.
I don't do that. I've gotten
You
better.
get
I've
angry.
gotten better.
No, we just haven't been to one in a while.
It's not true.
I'm gonna record the next one.
Well, we're going to do one next week.
Oh, they won't let you record them.
That's right. We will be doing them next week while we're down in Florida.
Well, maybe we can record the audio. Just where you go, "Why didn't you tell me that?" And we'll rewind it, and I told you that 5 minutes before. Because see, there's
No, okay. All right, folks. That's our show for today. Be sure to join us again next week. And remember, life is good.
when you nacho.